Hello, all you hardcore boxing fans out there. How are you doing? It's Russ here from Porkys Corner, the voice of hardcore boxing. Today, I'm joined by Kent from Belfast in Northern Ireland. How are you doing, lad?
Good morning, Russell.
I like your top you've got on, Kent. I've got one of them.
Got my Kronk top. That's the original.
Let me see if I can top that top. See if I can top it. Because this t-shirt here is the best quality t-shirt I've ever had.
I know what's coming out. Yeah.
Joe Gallagher with Egyptian cotton. Not bad, is it?
Team G.
These are beautiful t-shirts. These, aren't they?
Really comfortable to wear.
Yeah.
They're great quality. Very good. Better quality in this.
We thought we'd put the old Joe Gallagher one on for you, Spencer Fearon, because I know you're watching. You're fantasist.
Team G.
Team G. Team Joe G. Before we start, obviously it's early in the morning. You're an early riser, you, Kent. Christopher Eubank's come out and said Saunders will get what he's given. He's not the A side. What do you think to that? Because he's saying he wants 5 million, isn't he?
Well, we all know that Eubanks Jr. has got a massive ego. Billy Joe Saunders has a massive ego. Is he pricing himself out, Russell?
I don't know. Personally, right, we all know my opinion on Billy Joe Saunders. I won't put it past him coming back and taking the money and going and sticking his finger up at everybody like that and saying it's prize fighting, we're prize fighters, and doing that because he's never put his son in harm's way only once. He's put his son in harm's way once in his career, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Once.
Yeah, he's been.
So I think that he will come back again now. I said he won't fight again. It'd have to be a big amount. Maybe he is pricing himself out. And maybe 5 million quid is a lot of money for him to fight Eubank. But it's a massive fight in UK. It's a stadium fight on pay-per-view on Sky. Now, but whether Saunders gets through 12 rounds against him, I'm not so sure. Maybe now Saunders has quit once, he could do a Victor Ortiz and quit again. Because you think, well, I've done it once. At least I know I get paid and I get out intact. He could do it again. And then just say, well, I've already beat him once. He could do that and just stick his fingers up at fans and say, fuck you to fans. I don't know, man. What do you think, Ken?
I think, you're right. He's never going to get an opportunity like this again to earn millions of pounds. And Sky are trying to get themselves up and established again. And they need big fights. The whole thing with Sky when Eddie was there, that they were trying to build pay-per-view with Aldi Harrison, which was an absolute joke. So now they're trying to build it with the likes of Chris Eubanks Jr. They've got the Savannah Carissa Shields fight. This is an absolutely enormous fight. So I think Billy Joe knows the value of it, and I think he knows the value that he is to them. Sky need the opponent for Eubank to sell the pay-per-view. So he knows that they need him. They need to get established again. And I think they'll pay it because, Russell, it is a massive, massive. Can you imagine the build-up?
Who do you want to see? You got Billy Joe there. He didn't come out and do an interview regarding Canelo. So he's going to keep that card up his sleeve because now that's become like a stick to beat the fans with. I'm not doing an interview about it. I'm not saying anything. So the fans, he's wanting them to hate him, innit? He's going to be the bad guy, innit? Saunders.
Yeah, you've got Junior as well. You've got two heel characters there just going at each other for months. The build up would be enormous. he's right. You know, you're right what you said there. This is the last chance. And what's to just turn around and say he turns up, makes weight, gets his millions of pounds, drags it out a few rounds, and runs out of steam, or just pulls out. You know, there's no, and not even not even current less. He's collecting that money. You know, it's money on the table, and if the money's there, it would be absolutely mad to turn that money down.
Yeah, it would, wouldn't it? It would, but does he care about the fans, Saunders, or does he just care about getting his grubby little hands on more millions?
Well, it's 5 million. It doesn't seem to care about, you know, it's £5 million. You know, he's not going to care about, you know, anybody. You're getting that money. You know, it's £5 million. You know, much did he make in his last fight? You know, much did he? Eight. Was that dollars or was that pounds?
7 in dollars, isn't it? In money, is it 7 in our money or 7.4 or so? I don't know. Well, look, he probably cleared about 4.5 mil, 5 mil, because they'd have had all them people, his team, they'd have been on wages, wouldn't they? They wouldn't have been on percentages, they'd have been on a set fee, wouldn't they? He very shrewd money, and you've got to look after yourself in this game, but don't make out that you'll fight people for free in interviews and play social media game. Then start saying you want X amount for Eubank. Look, they both need each other, don't they? Eubank needs him. If he don't fight Saunders, who's going to fight? John Ryder. You know, John Ryder, I quite like his style and that, but outside of the ring, he's Mr. Dull, isn't he?
You're right. It's got this stage now where the Sky have got Eubank, and he is in his 30s now, and they have to match him very, very careful. You know, they matched him carefully to the point where they had James DeGale, who had absolutely nothing left. They timed that right. They got that right. They had the Arthur Abraham fight. They timed that right. You know, the whole thing with coming through and he was navigated very, very safely. And just the Groves fight was, you know, he was up against somebody who was a world level fighter, and he got beat. Billy Joe, he hadn't even I don't even think the EBU sanctioned that fight at the time, because Eubank hadn't been even in a scheduled 10-round fight. So they have to match him really, really careful. They can't match him. Like, they're talking about Eubanks now against Murata. I think that's a dangerous fight for Sky and Eubanks, because I think once he goes up a level, he's found out, and it's been proven. It's been proven. So I think they're trying to get, well, we know they're trying to get, they know Billy Joe lost his last fight. They know he struggles with discipline. They know there's multiple trainers, multiple camps trying to keep him fit. They're banking on this fight. So it's careful matchmaking, and I think Billy Joe knows that, and he knows that they need him more than he needs him, so to speak. You know, Eubanks needs this big opponent. Billy Joe doesn't. Billy Joe's just made £7.5 million. You know, he doesn't need to fight again. But if he's going to get offered the Eubank fight, he's going to make sure he's getting well paid for it.
You couldn't really split him in first fight, could you?
No, I had it. I had it Billy Joe by 1. I thought Junior started really, really slow. He was just posturing about. He was just. I think Billy Joe won the first 5 rounds. Then Eubank just started coming into the fight. Every round he seemed to get, you know, he added something to every round, and it was a very, very close fight. It was entertaining. You know, the build-up was just. I remember that the Frank Warren press conference down, and he's a new and senior popped up and says, "No, you have to come down to us. Christopher will be training," and it was just absolute chaos. I would pay pay-per-view to see it, and I would pay pay-per-view alone just to see the build up to it. Because really, at the minute, Russell, like if you take out Anthony Joshua and you take out Tyson Fury fight, what other big card is there in the UK? What other big pay-per-view fight is there in the UK between two domestic fighters?
Yeah. All right then. It's they're in, is there?
No. Whose fault's that?
I don't know. Whose fault do you think it is?
I think it's the promoters and the matchmakers. They don't know how to promote or match fighters anymore.
Maybe it's TV companies.
TV companies, corporations, all that.
Yeah. Okay then. It's utter. That's what it is. What we're being fed. Right. I've made a few notes. Lara Warrington. Did Warrington look for a way out? Yes or no?
No, because I thought my opinion on it is that it was his home ground. It was in Headley, and he just thought he could go in and do what he wanted. You know, we had.
He did do, didn't he?
He did, and we'll have Steve Gray. You know, he's the matchroom. He seems to be the matchroom referee at the minute. You know, he's like Mickey Van for Frank Warren in the 90s. That's what Steve Gray is. So I just thought he had this aura of, yeah, I'm at home, I'm at Hanley, this is my crowd, I've sold it out, I can just go in and, you know, go in with the head. You know, he was stepping in with the head quite a lot. Was he looking a way out? Either way, you know, he needed a win. He needed a win for his career to progress. You know, for Eddie, it worked out good for Eddie because it means that they can do a third fight. And
Who wants to see that again? Who wants to see that again?
It was. Do you know what, Russell? I've never seen a referee as quick to stop a fight.
Steve Gray is the biggest hometown ref judge in boxing at the moment. You think Ian John Lewis is bad? Pair of them need running out of the sport of boxing. Ian John Lewis, Steve Gray, get out of this sport now. Go now.
He just didn't even let the corner. And see, the thing about it was, Russell, as well, I don't know whether you watched it on DAZN, but usually when it's Sky, they will zoom in on it, they will look at the cut, they will examine it, they will highlight it, they will talk about it afterwards, they will discuss, how bad the cut is. There was hardly any footage. Now, I know it was a bad cut, I'm not saying it didn't happen, but they didn't really spend much time actually speaking about the cut. They didn't even show it hardly. And the fact that, as I said there, Steve Gray just waved it off right away, didn't even give the corner man a chance to work on it.
Right. The father, Johnny Vegas, or whatever he's called, who Josh Warrington's father, right? He said that he set about him and that the other geezer didn't want it. Now, I saw headbutts split his eye. That's what I saw on replays. Did you see that?
Yep.
Right. So they weren't done from punches then, were they?
No.
Right. He complained 3 separate times to the referee about headbutts. Steve Gray never pulled Warrington up once about it. So we agree on that, don't we?
Yep.
So is Steve Gray incompetent or is he corrupt? Which is it?
It's just that whole thing where it's I would blame, if I was managing Lara and there was a rematch clause, I would be saying, well, in the rematch, we're the A side, we've won the last fight, we need a neutral referee.
Well, when you're on the back foot like that and you're coming over from another country and you've not got a belt and you're just happy to be there, you sort of take it, don't you? But these promoters now, they're all playing it safe with a certain referees. Now, we all know for a fact who the certain referees are aligned to, don't we? We know that. And some referees are aligned to both because they just want to get work, don't they? They want the work, you know, the A-stars. So they're not going to want to rock the boat. If Steve Gray don't do Warrington any favours and gets him smashed up, he's not going to be wanted on another Matchroom show, is he?
No.
These people are thinking of themselves, just like the fighters do, just like the managers do. There's got to be rules. There's got to be precedents set so that it's all even across the board, even for away fighters coming over here. We don't want the UK to be the new Germany, do we?
It is.
It is, yeah. But we don't want it to continue to be like Germany, like the Sven Otka era. We don't want that, do we? Or the Marco Huck era, or the Sauerland era. Isn't that right, Calla? You know what I mean?
Especially come back, the Robin Reed, Sven Otka.
Oh my God!
Heartbreaking.
I have more nightmares about that than Robin Reed. At least Robin Reed, when I speak to him about that, he laughs about it because he's over it now. But and he paid £15,000 appeal. He paid 15 grand to appeal on that and didn't get nowhere. Isn't that right, Jez Harding? I'll get round to you in a few weeks. You're a fucking luxury at the moment, what I've got lined up. But no, I have more nightmares than Robin Reed of a Sven Otka. Anybody want to see a corrupt fight? The most two corrupt fights that I've ever seen in the sport of boxing for corruption that got caught on camera is Arthur Abraham against Edison Miranda 1, Randy Newman, the referee. We know about that, don't we? He stopped the fight. Big Willie Sauerland stood up and said, no, it carries on. Promoter telling the ref that you're not stopping the fight. Am I right? They waved the fight off. That's the most corrupt fight I've ever seen in the sport of boxing. Arthur Abraham versus Edison Miranda. Go and watch that. They took 5 points off Arthur Abraham in the fight, didn't they? But no, sorry, off Miranda, but never disqualified him, did they? That's the most corrupt. The second most corrupt, Robin Reed against Sven Otka. Do we agree?
Absolutely.
Roger Tillerman was the referee, am I right?
Yep.
Right. They're the most corrupt two fights I've ever seen in the sport of boxing. The third one is the Ian John Lewis one, where he stopped Enzo Macaronelli. Do you remember?
That was against...
And then apologised after. He got confused, didn't he? Shane McPhilbin.
Shane McPhilbin, yeah. Cruiserweight fight.
They're the three most corrupt fights that I've ever seen. There's another one as well that... I'm trying to think what it were now. Where a Warren fighter's getting flogged at Bellman whacks Bell, doesn't he, a minute early? Do you remember that one?
Oh, the oldest trick in the book.
Well, the other, McPhilbin, Macaronelli, Enzo Macaronelli was totally robbed that night. McPhilbin, Macaronelli, Otka, Reed, Robin Reed, Sven Otka. Edison Miranda, Arthur Abraham is the most corrupt fight that I've ever seen across the board. Across the board. Shocking. The Robin Reed one was shocking. Robin knocked him down and he took a point off Robin. And that made the difference because it made it a 10-8 round to Otka and not Robin. And that would more or less meant difference in fight, didn't it? And blah, blah, blah. What did Robin Reed have to do? But yeah, and I think two of them were Sauerland cards, weren't they? The Arthur Abraham Miranda and the Otka Reed, they were Sauerland cards. Isn't that right, Calla Sauerland? Yeah, you fucking know. I'll get round to you as well soon. You're a fucking luxury as well. But I don't mind Calla because he likes to get out on a Saturday night, doesn't he? And then likes to go home looking through fucking curtains all night like I used to. But
he looks like he's doing a bit of training these days.
Being it that. Woo, woo, woo. giving it the old owl. Yeah, he looks like he's doing a bit of training. Keller, other week you were talking about boxing and this and that, and on the tarmac you can have a fight or something. Keller, you can't fight for toffee. Stop it. Stop. Stop with this fighting man fucking talk. You make John Fury look tame. Stop it. Oh, turn up. But no, is Steve Gray corrupt or incompetent or a bit of both or just fucking useless? I don't know. I don't know what to make of it, but we need no referees and no judges across the board. We need the border control gone. We need yours gone. Gone. Old men milking a system like politicians. They need fucking out the sport. Right. We've covered the headbutts. It were clear they were headbutts. They were protesting through the fight. The referee did nothing. The same referee who gave Conor Benn every round. See what I mean about hometown referee? It's going to do as the promoter says, aren't they? Or they might not be doing as the promoter says. They might be doing it because they want to be invited back. Because these people, they've got jobs in the day. You know, well, I'm not going to say you, but I know 2 A-star referees, and both of them told people I know that they have jobs in the day and they leave their money in the bank and they live on the border control money and the expenses and that. It's free gratis. These people are wealthy people in their own right because the straight Joe public aren't the straight heads, the straight goers with 2 jobs, flying all over the place, jetting all over. Everything's free, innit? Hotel, food, expenses, petrol money, and paid as well. And you're at the boxing and they've got jobs in the day. These people are not going to want to rock the boat with that. Either they've got good lifestyles, better lifestyles than boxers, or 95% of boxers. It needs ripping up and starting again. I keep going on about it, but fuck all's happening. But we're gathering a bit of momentum because we've got things lined up, and I'm like a dog with a bone, Kent. So we spoke about the Warrington-Lara fight. In my opinion, Warrington wanted a way out. You don't agree with that, do you?
No.
Right. Well, I think you do. I think he wanted out. I think he were doing his best to cheat. Headbutting's cheating, isn't it? Do we agree?
Yeah.
He's cheating, right. He thought he could get away with it, and he did get away with it. There were no protection for Lara, and his career's fucked now because every boxer who's seen that fight now is going to try and punch him on that cut, aren't they? He could be a year out with that cut. That's one of the worst ones I've ever seen. That were a bad one, that. Maxi Hughes, Doncaster boy, Rosington. Team Maxi, what do you think? Is he a world champion, Ken?
Absolutely. You know, he's an IBO world champion. He said in an interview the other day, he kind of like played it down, all like I'm IBO. And I'm like, no, Maxi, you're a world champion. You've won a world title. Yeah. I think he's a humble guy. I think he's boxer of the year. I think there is no, you know,
boxer of the year without a shadow of a doubt, Maxi.
Absolutely.
Tell me another boxer that deserves that.
Look what he's done in his last 4 fights. You know, he's won a British, he's won a WBC international. He is now a world champion. He's had a remarkable career. Like the days where he was losing, you know, like he lost to Liam Walsh for a WBO trinket. You know, he lost to Sam Bowen for a British. What a career, like what a turnaround. I think he's the boxer of the year. He deserves it. And I don't care what anyone says. He's a world champion. He's won an IBO title. That's a world title.
World title.
You know, you look at the WBA. The WBA is the most incompetent sanctioning body. They're an absolute embarrassment.
They're number 5 now out of the 5, aren't they?
Awful, awful. WBC have got a world champion who hasn't fought in near 2 years. And there's no, you know, there's nothing said about it. They've got fighters failing drugs tests. That's right, Valdez. drugs tests,
Yeah.
and they're allowed to fight. And I said in a video, a members area video, this is for the members. So if anyone's seen that video, I had Valdez at number 5. He is out of my list. I have no time for drug
he's
cheats.
a fucking cheat. Right, okay then. We'll come to that in a bit. So Maxi Hughes is a world champion. I salute you, Maxi Hughes. Ebony Bridges. Wait, did she have her fishnets on? What's going on here with this Ebony Bridges thing, right? Have you seen a website where she's charging 170 quid for a signed glove and 35 quid for a signed picture? Go to it.
No, definitely not. No, wouldn't waste my time. This is someone who comes from a bodybuilding background. So why is nobody asking about, did you ever take steroids? Did you ever take any performance enhancing drugs? Secondly, you've got a fighter like Natasha Jonas, who hasn't fought since December and isn't getting any opportunities with Eddie, but he's bringing over Ebony Bridges from Australia or New Zealand or wherever she's from, and she's had 2 fights. What's going on?
Yeah, it's women's boxing is a joke. Do you know Shannon Courtney's never beat a girl from Britain and she's defending a belt next, but she never beat anybody from UK, but she's strutting around as a world champion. That's how poor women's boxing is at the moment, isn't it?
That's that Bridge. Well, I thought Ebony Bridges was beat at the weekend.
I thought she lost Ebony Bridges comfortably. She lost comfortably. Very cool. I want to see a rematch.
Even Darren, the company man Barker, said that she lost the fight, and he'll
soon retract that. He'll soon retract that. Fucking old brown tongue.
Do you know that is only the second fighter she's beat with a winning record?
Yeah. Oh, Ebony Bridges.
Yeah.
And then she didn't fucking beat her. It were a fluke.
And then she didn't beat her. Absolute terrible. It's bad. You've got somebody like Natasha Jonas there who represented GB, helped build women's boxing in UK, and she gave Katie Taylor probably the second hardest fight of her career, and she's been parked up and she's not getting any opportunities whatsoever. And you've got this Ebony Bridges coming in from a background of bodybuilding, and she's not getting opportunities. Surely that they could get Natasha opportunities rather than give it to an away fighter. I don't understand it.
Yeah, it's a joke, mate. It's a joke. We could see Ebony, but we're not going to see it last of her because she's totally in love with herself. She loves social media. She loves palling up all the YouTubers, the big YouTube lads and the people who are a bit famous. She gave Mark Tibbs a ticket, didn't she, for Leeds fight? So she knows how to work the room, doesn't she? Do you know what I mean, kind of thing?
Yeah.
You've got to get yourself out there as a boxer, and Eddie Hearn loves all that, and she does views, so she's here to stay, isn't she?
Yeah.
I think it's dragging boxing into the gutter, though. Fishnet stockings and all these weighing things. It's all a bit cheesy. It's all like a bit of a WWE.
I'm just
laughing it now.
I'm just sick of it now.
Joke. We're a fucking joke, aren't we? Boxing's a fucking joke.
At the first couple of times, it's funny and all, and you'll send it to your mates, and I'll look at this and all. See, after a while, it's not funny anymore. It's like, it reminds me a bit of Dave Allen at the start. The Doncaster De La Hoya, coming into the ring, and a pair of trainers from Sports Direct, and the wrestling music and all, and the funny weigh-in scenes.
All a bit gimmicky, innit?
After a while, it's just I just can't be bothered anymore, to be honest. It has a very short shelf life, and you just get sick of it.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from, lad. I see where you're coming from. Got an headache.
Steve Gray headache.
Fucking hell. Fucking Porky's Corner headache. Waking up to fucking 80 odd emails. You haven't replied to my email, Porky. Well, I do have other things to do. Let's move on to Conor Benn, the roadman killer, who were going to knock the guy out, turning up in a private jet.
No, sorry, Russell. He was going to lay him out.
Lay him out. He couldn't even. He were throwing punches and doing 360-degree turns, wasn't he?
So Richard contacted me at the weekend, and he says, "Kent, what do you think about Conor Benn?" So basically, Russell, they have been telling us he's improved, right? He's improving in the gym. He's improving. He's the most improved fighter we've seen. He's night and day. He's doing this. He hasn't. Where's the evidence that he's improved?
Where's his job? His old man never had a job, did he?
No. So I said to Richard, he's no job. And when he does, he flicks it. He's no balance. He can't set up shot selection unless someone's on the ropes. He can't even cut the ring down.
Kent, what would Michael McKinson do to Conor Benn?
He'd cut him up and spin him out.
What would Lewis Crocker do to him?
He'd knock him out.
Yeah. Conger, Kelly, Jenkins, Avenetian. Oh, could you imagine David Avenetian with Conor Benn? It'd be a bloodbath, wouldn't it?
It would be sick. I think if Conor got the 6 rounds in that fight, it would be a moral victory for him. He wouldn't get any more. You said something the other week there, and it makes sense. If a champion is a champion, you want to go and fight him. Why would you want to fight for a title that was vacant? Why would you want the champion to vacate a belt for you to go and fight for? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I think he's way, way off. Those type of guys, you need to be, I remember his dad turned around and says, don't be fighting another Sancho, Diaz, Gomez. And that's what he's doing. But I thought he looked terrible there on Saturday night. It looked to me like he's never going to get the world level. Never.
Oh, the lobby, they'll get him a title shot though.
Yeah, well, they'll wait. They're going to have to wait for that division. That division is, is there not like, there's elite level guys even under the world champions in that division, and he's miles off that. Absolutely miles off that. Miles.
Awful. And do you know the best thing about it is? All you people in boxing, I've got all your attention now, Anna. All you license holders, all you trainers, managers, and promoters and pretend promoters like Sam Jones, you all know what we're saying is true. You didn't come out and say it, dare you? Why ain't nobody in boxing coming out saying, why is he getting all these opportunities? Because if it were football, right, and say, for instance, some person were getting a run out in one of the top 6 in Premier League constantly, and he would shite or he would at his depth, people would be saying, why are they playing him all the time? What's going on here? But in boxing, nobody dare say it because you don't get a weekly wage, do you, in boxing? So you've got to pander to promoters and suck up to them and kiss arse. They all know, all these round here now, listen, do you think Dave Caldwell, Steffi Bull, Ryan Rhodes, Dominic Ingle, do you think all them lot around here, all these boxing people, because let's have it right, they are boxing people, they all know that Conor Benn's not the real deal. They all know this. They all know that it's wrong for him to be given carte blanche, red carpet treatment and miss all the levels going through. But nobody's saying, this is what fucking bothers me. What the fucking hell's going on here?
So, Russell, we're going to go back. I'm going to go back to 90s here. And remember I think it was when Graham Souness was manager of Southampton. And he got like an email or a phone call or a fax about George Weah's nephew, and he went and he signed this lad without even seeing him.
Played him once, didn't he?
Ali Dyer. Conor Benn
Pulled him
is
off,
the
didn't
Ali
he?
Dyer.
He put him on as a sub and pulled him off as a sub, didn't he?
Yeah.
I remember it. Yeah.
Conor Benn is the.
I'm
the
sure
Ali
he were.
Dyer
I'm
of
sure he
boxing.
were. I'm sure he were at Newcastle, not Southampton, though. But I could be wrong.
No, it's definitely Southampton.
Well, let me tell you this, right? Let me tell you this. Graham Souness isn't afraid to dig Liverpool players out on Sky Sports.
No, he's not. Definitely not.
He's not afraid to do that. And neither is Micah Richards to dig out Man City players. But yet we've got in boxing, we've got people like Tony Bellew screaming and shouting and ranting and raving like a banshee about this Oscar Valdez while sat next to Kid Galahad, who he's hammered on social media for years, but said fuck all about Galahad's dope test. You know what I mean?
Not a word.
Performance enhancing drugs. We're not talking about some at the other counter. We're talking performance enhancing drugs. Said fuck all. We're not talking cocaine either.
Dianabol.
We're talking Dynabol. So, do you know what I mean? That's how I look at it, mate. Said fuck all. Tony's world. Unless everybody gets slated unless you're a mate of Tony's. Isn't that right, Tony?
He done an interview after the event about Oscar Valdez, the drug test, and I agree with everything he said in that interview. But why is he sitting beside Kid Galahad and not asking him any questions or not saying anything to him about it on TV? Getting paid.
Yeah. It's wrong. So, Conor Benn, did he win every round? Yes or no? I give him it 7 rounds to 3.
He didn't win every round, to be honest. No, he didn't.
Steve Gray gave him every round. Isn't that right, Steve Gray? You gave him 10 rounds, and one of the other judges gave him it by 4. So you're fucking 6 rounds out on a 10-round fight. What the fuck are you watching, Steve Gray?
Essex boys.
Hey? 6
He's one of the
rounds
Essex
out
boys.
on a 10-round fight. So if it had been 12 rounds, it'd have been fucking 8 rounds out. Like the way it were going, what are these fuckers watching? The fuck out of here, man. Drive me crazy. Galahad Warrington split. The Galahad Warrington split. Does Warrington deserve more than Galahad because he's the money, but Galahad's got the belt? Will it happen? I don't want to fucking see that again.
No.
Do you know what I mean? I'll be happy if I don't see Galahad in a ring again, although he did dissect Yazza Dickens, didn't he? And it was a very professional performance. But if he's up against somebody a bit better, he just nullifies it and stinks arenas out. He's the fucking stinkinator like Joseph Parker, mate. So if I don't see him in a ring again, it won't bother me. But he's a world champion and he's from my area, so we've got to give him a bit of kudos, haven't we? He can fight. He is technically very good, but he's not exciting, is he?
No, he doesn't draw a ticket. So that fight is gonna be hard to match because you're right. Josh Warrington is probably outside of Joshua. He's probably the biggest he's probably one of the biggest ticket sellers in the UK. So why would he sell out the arena and come in for less money? It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. No, so I can't see that happening. No chance.
I agree wholeheartedly. Right. Oscar Valdez, dope testing. Do you agree with the WBC stripping Benavidez, for failing the test for cocaine? But yet Valdez fails one for performance-enhancing drug and they sanction the fight because he's a Reynoso fighter, isn't he?
Disgraceful.
Is that because of the Canelo connection, do you think?
Absolutely. That is, yeah.
That's 4 dope tests failures, isn't it, now, for that gym?
Disgrace. Why is no one talking about it?
Yeah. Why is Eddie Hearn not mentioning it either? Is it because he's wanted to get back with Canelo? I don't know. He's left Bellew to hammer him, hasn't he?
Yeah. Yeah. The whole WBC thing at the minute, Russell, is like, what they're saying is that because it was out of competition, it's okay. It's okay. That's their excuse. His excuse is that he got it in herbal tea.
His excuse is he's a cheating bastard.
Yeah.
Right.
He's a dirtbag.
Right. Heavyweight division. Is it at a standstill still? Yes or no?
I don't even want to talk. You know, we've been talking about the heavyweight division now for a year.
Yeah, let's fuck it off then. We'll not get airtime. No. Pundits, what did you think at punditry on DAZN at the weekend? Were there too many arse lickers? Is Darren Barker an arse licker?
Well, that's why he's there. You know, he's the only thing I actually couldn't believe it. He actually said about the Ebony Bridges fight that she didn't win that fight. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I thought I was going to hear like a beeping sound coming up over his lips. But yeah, it's in-house.
Is Bellew painful to listen to? Yes or no?
Yep.
Yeah, I thought it was painful to listen to. Let's have a look.
Especially when off air he's completely different. You know, he'll call everything out off air, but when he's on air, he will say very, very little. He'll plaster over the cracks on air. Like, I was really annoyed that he didn't, like, why did he just turn around and say to Eddie, I'm not interviewing him. I don't want to sit with him. He's a drug cheat. No, not even that.
Yeah. Jake Paul got his promoter's license, I believe. Is that correct?
Yep.
Is that a good thing for boxing? I know that he paid everybody well on that show, didn't he? And he gave them extra, didn't he? Yeah. And then we look at Joshua taking 70 million out Saudi and paying Tom Little not enough money to buy a Ford fucking Mondeo brand new.
Absolutely disgraceful. And using him as a sparring partner as well. Yeah.
So who's looking out for Tom Little? Because I like Tom Little. He's likable. He says it as he sees it. He don't bullshit. I've been in his company a few times. He's a decent kid. For Tom Little to be given that is 0.00 whatever percent of what Joshua got. How the fucking hell can Joshua look in Senate mirror knowing he got 70 million and Tom Little got a pittance?
Disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful.
He didn't get. He got probably what you get for a British title fight.
And he was probably taxed on it as well.
Yeah. So he didn't come away with a fucking. Tom Little didn't come away with enough money to buy a fucking 69 plate second-hand Golf. I mean, it's fucking disgusting. So I'm team Tom Little. And Joshua, you should be ashamed of yourself. The money's flowing one way, innit? But Jake Paul, he's saying everybody should eat. So I think that's good. Do you?
Absolutely. You know, I don't like his fights. I don't like all these like exhibition style. Everybody getting a license. Let's put that. I don't agree with it. Okay. But if he's gonna pay fighters well, Russell, and he's gonna look after them and gonna help them, well, who else is doing that? Who else is looking after the fighters?
Can I just say this to you, Ken? Right? Do you feel that Jake Paul sat at home with his brother and they've said, big fights are not happening in this sport that we love? Obviously, they like the sport because they're into the training, aren't they? Looking good, Nick, don't they? Right. Big fights are not happening in any division. What division are fucking any fights happening in boxing at the moment? All the fucking promoters all hate each other, don't they?
Yeah.
Right. No big fights are happening. If Fury Wilder happens, I'll be shocked, but I hope it does. The third one. The biggest fight happening so far this year were Canelo Saunders. The Saunders quit. Then the next biggest one's Usyk Joshua. Do you agree on that? Yeah.
Yep.
That's an hard fight for Joshua. So if we only get them 2 fights this year, where does that leave boxing? And is that why they've said here there's an opening here? Fans are unhappy. They'll have studied the analytics like we do. What age groups are watching boxing? And they're all down. People are leaving the sport. People over 65, 70 are dying, and the new age groups not coming into the sport. They're leaving the sport and they're going to watch MMA because we all have proof. They will have seen that. Dana White's not going to let them go into their sport and do it, although down the line they might do a crossover. They will have seen this and said, there's an opening here. Let's pay people. Let's build it up through social media and do something with boxing. And I see them being a force now. So get ready because they're here to fucking stay. And shame on the people who run the sport. You know, we're not saying run the sport. I think they fucking run it. You know, your Warrens, your Hearns, your Arams, your Don Kings, De La Hoya. He's in a fucking disarray, De La Hoya, at the moment, isn't he? We've gone from Thriller in the Manila to 46 years later to fucking tossers on Triller, haven't we? Well, we have, haven't we? We've gone from Joe Frazier and Muhammad Ali in Thriller in Manila to fucking Joe Fournier and David A on Triller. That's where we're fucking at, boxing. This is on your watch. This is on the Oscar De La Hoya's watch. Hearns' watch. Frank Warren, they played a part in all this. Fucking Freddie Flintoff were fucking wheeled out not so long ago, wasn't it? And McGuigan's were taking money to train him for it. So they can't bitch about it. Yeah, you brought that up. Eddie Hearn played his part with that fucking Manchester episode. Spencer Oliver, you had your fucking hand in biscuit barrel and got paid handsomely. You played your part, but you've gone fucking silent now. You've done one with your lolly. And yeah, they've all played a part in it. We've got promoters around here and managers and people fucking being involved in white collar behind the scene. Look, it's fucking going on. So nobody can bitch about it when but it's all right bitching about it, yeah, because you've not got your fucking hand in till. But when you get your hand in till, it's all right then, isn't it? Oh, just drop mine off in a carrier bag. I don't want to be seen at the fight. We know what's fucking going on. Greed reaches into the fucking core of people, and what they're doing, they're fucking killing the sport. Stone dead in front of me. And I'm not going to fucking let it happen. And if I have to keep doing this to fucking call these fuckers out, I will, because I ain't bothered about them. What they're going to fucking do? Come and see me here. Who gives a fuck? Fucking hell. They're telling the truth and trying to save the fucking sport. And nobody's fucking listening, are they? Nobody's listening. Do you know what I mean? Nobody is listening. But all we can do is make our point. And if it ends up on Skid Row and boxing goes underground, well, at least we fucking tried, didn't we? And I can live with that. I don't want to be one of them people in 10 years when I'm fucking 60, sat here saying, coulda, woulda, shoulda, I wish I'd done this, I wish I'd said that. Well, I'm saying it now. And if people don't like it, fuck you. And if you do like it, get on the Porky Express because we're going places. You know what I mean? It's got to be said, mate. Because these fuckers are going to kill the sport. They're stone dead. What fucking gimps are going to pay 25 quid to watch Davy Day, who's held together by Papa Mache, fight a fucking guy who can't even fight? His fucking pal, who sat there and said, here, Dave, why don't we put a bit of pretend beef out and we'll get all your followers to pay 25 quid for it. Yeah, that's a good idea, Joe. We'll do that. And then we'll laugh at all these people when we're raking more free money. And then you can pay me back what you owe me, David. That's what's been said. I'm telling you now. Shithousers! Off with their heads. I think that's about it, Kent. We've fucking let rip today, haven't we?
Let rip. Let it out, bruv.
I'm going to find my Kronk t-shirts, Kent, now. I've got a Kronk one. I paid £20 for it through Amazon or something like that. Years ago, but 10, 12 years ago. It's massive on me now. It's a big 60-inch chest one. When I was fat as a pig Michelin man. You
have to tie it round the back, Russell, so you can see the Kronk on it now.
13 stone 5 now, kid. I'm shrinking.
What are you, Bridger weight now?
13 5. I don't know. 187. Is it 186 or something? And a half? 186 and a half I was this morning on pounds, whatever that is. 13, just under 13 and a half, isn't it? 13, well, 12 and a half, 175. So 175, that's 12.7. So you got 7, 12, 187 then. 186 and a half, yeah, 186 and a half, just under 13 and a half. Well, I ain't got long to go now till I get this fucking band altered up at Claremont and Sheffield. I want it loosening, mate. I want to be able to get some grub down, mate. I want to be able to eat a fried breakfast and not spew it up. You know what I mean? I want to eat a bacon sandwich with HP tutti frutti and loads of Lurpak and on brown granary bread. You know, I used to do 6 of them in the morning just for fun, just before I got out of bed. But now I can't do one bite. But it's all good. Right, what you got planned for the rest of the day, young man?
Let me see. I'm gonna go take the dog out for a walk. I'm off today, and I'm gonna chill out all day.
Well, I'm gonna go in there next door, and I'm gonna do a Boyer Co chest and triceps workout. Then I'm going to Stitch and Print, I think, is it Sheffield, to pick shorts and gown up for Quinn Ahmed, our fighter.
Brilliant.
Who we're backing. He's got his debut next month in Morley in Leeds. I will be there. Amateur show in Morley, Leeds on October the 9th. All you trolls get there and back Quinn Ahmed. If you want to come and speak to me personally on the night, I will be there. I'm looking forward to that.
Get a selfie with the trolls.
Yeah, so well, that's what happens, isn't it? These trolls, when they meet me in person, they want selfies. Oh, brilliant, isn't it? Love it. Gotta love them. Love them. I've got no better love for them because without trolls, I don't think anybody would be backing my channel.
At least they're consistent.
Well, listen, mate, let's have a look at. Yeah. Only 9 calls since yesterday, so yeah, maybe they're dying off now. Maybe I'm turning haters into lovers, Ken.
You have to go more heel, you know. You have to go more heel, Russell, again. You know, you have to get the intro sorted out. You know, remember you used to have the old intro. It used to be, you know.
Oh yeah,
you need to get back to that again, Russell. You need to get
I don't
back
say
to
that. No, I just say, listen, I've got all your fucking attention now, Anna. You fucking.
Sometimes you're just waiting for it. You have to get back to that, Russell.
I have to time the moment. It depends what sort of mood I get up in the morning, Kent, I suppose. But it's all good, baby, isn't it? I suppose it was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine.
Here, we haven't had any music in the car for a while either, Russell. What's going on?
You know, we're not getting paid for any fucking ads, are we? I'm either swearing or I've got music on. And sometimes when you put music on, they only allow it in 3 or 4 countries, and then you don't get paid for the video, because we do have tech bills to pay. You know, I can't just keep bailing it out of my own pocket, because it's become like a fucking an expensive hobby. It's like a hobby, a passion. And it's become expensive. So if we don't put music on in the car, sometimes you get a bit of ad money in it, and we put it towards production and that. You know what I mean? You know, and there's 2 companies that we deal with for production. There's one we've had from the beginning, and then there's the company that do the helmets. So, and they're not going to work for free, so they have to be paid, don't they?
Yeah.
So we have to try and generate a little bit of something coming in to pay them people. Do you know what I mean? And then if there's out left, you might get a bit of petrol money, and that's your lot. But you know, I have all this. I have other things to do besides this, so it's all good. And there's other things lined up, so I am fucking at it. You know, 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm dealing with stuff until midnight. It's a long day. It's 18 hours. You know,
Russell,
this is only 4 hours, porkys. The actual filming and uploading. The rest of it, you got to keep on top, haven't you?
You're relentless.
I am relentless, but You don't get anywhere, do you? Laid in bed smoking weed all day, because that's what I used to do years ago. I didn't roll out of bed by 1 o'clock, but I'd have been smoking weed from 10 o'clock. 1 o'clock, somebody would bring me a fry up, and then I'd probably look to starting my day about fucking 4 o'clock. And then and then my day would fucking finish about 3 o'clock in the morning, and it's all fucking arsehole upwards. So them days are gone now. I'm up in the morning and to bed late at night, and I'm in a good routine. And it's like Mickey Theo said to me a couple of months ago when he came up, and he said, "You're pretty much on it, aren't you?" I went, "Yeah." He says, "You're consistent, aren't you?" I says, "Yeah, and I train every day, 5 days." You know what I mean? So you've got to be consistent if you want anything in life. And obviously, I like to keep on top of things, don't I? Nobody can say I owe them anything, not owe anybody. I pay for everything I have, and I'm on top of everything. And I've got kids as well. So you've got to be consistent, haven't you? And set. I'm speaking now, but if people spoke like this to me years ago, because his fucking head's gone in, just let me roll another spliff. But them days are gone now, aren't they? So I have to set a standard for my kids to follow, or practice what you preach, so to speak, innit?
Yeah.
But then again, I could quite easily fucking just get up one morning, put hammer through that, put hammer through all this.
No, I don't think so.
Well, maybe
I don't
not,
think
but
so.
it depends what mood I fucking get up in, because boxing can drive you fucking crazy, mate. But no, I think them days are gone. I'm 51-year-old in October, so, it's next month. No, it's time to be mature, innit? I've got a lot of time to make up, a lot of wasted time in prison, a lot of wasted years taking drugs and being off my trolley, which wasn't fucking good. A lot of wasted 30 years of my fucking life, mate. Or 25, yeah.
You've turned that negative. That was a negative. Now it's a positive. That negative worked out as a positive for you.
Yeah. And anybody can do it. There's help out there, innit? If you want to take drugs are for mugs. Go and get help. There's help out there. Go see a counsellor. Go get yourself fucking clean, and it doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah.
It just doesn't happen overnight. Many a time when I was taking heroin, I was surrounded by it, so I didn't worry about where my next fix were coming from. I had loads of it, and I just thought it was brilliant. But there were times where I'd say, right, that's it. I'm not taking fuck all from Monday, and I locked myself away. Come fucking Wednesday, I was like, oh, help. It was fucking horrible. And eventually, penny drops eventually, but it's fucking hard. It was hard, man. That was the hardest thing I've ever fucking did. And then obviously when I got clean, then I moved away. I moved 20 miles to Oakley. I moved away, and I stayed there for 2 years. I fucking ate myself to death. I ate myself to death while fucking taking my methadone. But you come through it, don't you? And I think it's character building. There is light at the end of the tunnel, just like being in prison, isn't it? When you start your sentence in jail, Ken, you think, fucking hell, I've got another 2 years of this bastard. Fucking screws with the keys and being told you can't do this and can't do that. And eventually you settle down and you get into some sort of routine, and humans adapt. And I think it's all character building. This is why, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, anybody who's not a fucking nonce or fucking in for knocking old people about, if you're in prison, anybody who can get through it, they've got character. Whether you're doing 3 months or fucking 30 years, you get through it. It's character building, because it's like having a big dark cloud over you. Character building. You get through prison. This is a fucking doddle. Fucking people trolling me on here. Fuck, it's a luxury. Anybody that can do porridge. I mean, look at people I know that have been sentenced. Richard Towers copped to 12, didn't he? Peter Fury. He did 9 off of 10 because they did him for his pocket, didn't they? My mate Frank did 7 off his 10. Character building, you can get through it. Strong-willed people, proper men. And then you have other people who'll get through it, and they'll fucking moan the way all the way through it. You still got it to fucking do, so why not laugh? You've got to be one of them in the morning. In jail, you've got to have an up attitude. Any women out there going to visit your partners in prison, tell your boyfriend to have an up attitude, and smile all the way through it. Laugh all the way through it. I used to fucking laugh in the face at screws. They put me on basic. You've got to have an up attitude to get through prison. It's fucking hard work. That Darren G, he's done a big sentence, and says, Annie, that James English, I think he's done some prison as well, hasn't he? Obviously, they got through it, didn't they?
Yeah.
They got through the They came through it. So they've got a bit of character inside them, haven't they?
Yeah.
Not everybody's got character. They've got a bit of character.
You know, it's coming through that and coming out now and having their programs and their channels, and their content's really, really good. You know, both guys' stuff is really, really, all those guys have got as you say, they've got a story.
Yeah.
They've got character, and it's just fascinating hearing all that. And
I've got pals in Doncaster who've had tens and people, the same people have been padded up with me. You know, me and my mate from we were in Lindon, we got dragged out of fucking beds and thrown in jail next door for carrying for a bit of nonsense in there in mid-90s. But you know, you take it on chin and you adapt, don't you? It's hard. You know, you're going on basic in mornings. Okay, then they just scooped us up and took us. But yeah, and a Saturday afternoon it was as well at the beginning of the year, 2nd of January or New Year's Day or something. Look, it's character building. And I've got pals in prison now. I pay the magazine bills, FHM, loaded, Daily Mirror every day, Sunday Mirror on a Sunday. What's that other one he has on a Saturday? Daily Mail. I said, what do you want that for? I said, yeah, I get it, but what do you need that shite for? He says, because it's about that thick and it comes with them Sunday supplement magazines and it keeps it. And I said, yeah, I forgot about that. And that's how I used to be in there. They'd always be picking stuff up, you know, to read and just keep your mind occupied. I remember when I first went in prison, I think I was only young. I remember walking around yard in Armley, and you weren't allowed to step over this line. School just said, don't step over that line or something. And I thought, fuck you. You know, because you've got all the cells leading onto exercise yard. I'll never forget, this is how thick I was and naive. And I saw a News of the World newspaper, which if you've got a News of the World in prison, people will say, oh, can I read that after you? It's like a big thing on a Sunday, because there's a free newspaper that goes around and it gets passed around. Everybody gets to read it. And I saw this News of the World, but it was an old one. And I thought, fuck it, I'm going to grab it. So I shot over this line and grabbed it. I thought, get in there. Do you know when I got back to my fucking cell? Do you know what? I thought, what's inside it? There were a fucking turd inside it, mate.
Oh.
Can you imagine that? Can you fucking imagine that? I thought, fucking, I didn't see that fucker coming. Do you know what I mean? So you have to wise up. Obviously, I fucking learned from fucking many years later. I was, Mum, just fucking get me fucking newspapers sent in from local shop, will you? This is fucking torture. But, you know, you fucking learn, don't you? You live and learn. And it's character building. I look back at that now. I can laugh about this now. But when my mates bring that up, I go fucking mad. I'm mad. Well, I'm pretty open about it now. Not know to hide. But yeah, there's your character building, isn't it, mate? That's all it is. I look back at that. And in them days in Armley, they had metal trays and the food were fucking disgusting, mate.
Oh.
Fucking, but some good lads in Leeds, though. I met good lads. But
you know, just because there's people in jail and stuff, you know, doesn't mean they're bad. You know, there's a lot of people in jail that are in there because they're a product of an environment they're in and they get caught up and they come out of it like yourself, you know, they serve their time and they make a positive. So yeah, it's an amazing story. Like I couldn't imagine being inside. I
could go on all day about it. Do you know them green woolly fire blankets that they give you in prison? I were padded up with this kid. This is in Armley. And I'll never forget, he was from Bradford, this kid. So what are you doing? And he got all these strands, these green strands, he pulled them off at bed. And he'd bunched it all up into like a ball and set fire to it. And he was frying. He was frying bacon, mate, on one of them metal fucking trays. I couldn't believe it. I'd never seen nothing like it. I thought, this is all right, isn't it? And then I was padded up with a kid from Doncaster who was a good friend of mine. He actually is from Barnsley. And he dropped his spliff out at window trying to pass it. And dropped his spliff. I says, fucking hell, you've dropped it next door's spliff. And this kid was going mad next door. So he says, leave it to me. So what we did, we made a line out of wool and we had a mirror. And what we did, he put jam on some paper and lowered it down, and he stuck this paper thing, he lowered it down onto cliff and the jam stuck to it, and he pulled it back up, and he never passed it to next door. We smoked it because the kid said, "I don't matter, leave it." But we managed to get it. Little things like that, in my eyes, are little victories. Because don't forget, you're fucking in a sardine can, aren't you? So you got to make most of it. Like I've just said to you there, character building. So when people have a little dig at me, and I think to myself, "Fucking hell, I'm ex-convict. I've had police smash me fucking teeth out." Obviously, I got my big sentence was for the assault on the policeman when I was 23. But the point I want to make is that it's character building, isn't it? So I look now and I don't recognise that person who I used to be then. I'm in a good position now, aren't I? A very good position. That probably it's a shame I'm not 25. If I were in this position as a 25-year-old, nah, fucking hell, I'd be unstoppable. But I've got a lot of time to make up. But I've got into this position now, yeah. I'm fortunate. And I've grabbed it with both hands. So you're probably right. I'm not going to go back to that lifestyle. But what that lifestyle did and what's it done for a lot of my friends who I still speak to now and who've done porridge, it's wised them up. For example, look at Peter Fury. He always says to me, just enjoy it, you're ahead at game. Whenever I speak to Peter or I get a text, which is usually every day or every other day, we're ahead of the game after what we've been through, aren't we? So's my mate
Absolutely.
Frank. So's my mate Frank. My mate Frank's 70 odd. Fair enough, he's lost his wife, bless him, but he's ahead of the game for what he used to be because he used to be a criminal. Do you know what I mean? He's not now as a retired old gentleman. We're ahead of the fucking game, mate. Do you know what I mean? Darren G, James English, they're ahead of the game because they know the other side of the coin. Not everybody can do it. Spencer Fearon got locked up, didn't he? For a week. I'm not going to say what, but you know what for Spencer. He were in his cell giving it this to Terry Dunstan. Terry Dunstan took him under his wing in prison. But he was only in for a week and he got out. He got out, Spencer. Listen, it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. This is why when I see Spencer Fearon working himself up as a roadman killer and hammering me on people's channels, whatever. I live in his head. But the point I want to make is that's not for everybody. And when I first went in, I thought, this isn't for me. This was not for me, this. But obviously it fucking worked because I went back 7 times. I spent years in there. Eventually it penny drops. But like I said, it ain't for everybody. It isn't for everybody. Some people, they only need to go fucking once and they're done. Do you know what I mean? Fucking never again. I've got a cousin. He went once. It wasn't for him. Do you know what I mean? I used to set piss out of him. But obviously I was fucking thick, wasn't I? You know what I mean? It's like me. I was one of them kids who would get fucking pit belt off his dad. After the 10th time, you think, I'm not going to do that again. I'll get fucking pit belt. It didn't need to be once. It'd be used a fucking 10 times, or in my case, 10 year over a 12.5-year period. You know what I mean? But it's not for everybody. Prison is not for everybody, mate. And you're putting your families through it, aren't you? They don't want to be stripped off. And I mean, when I go visit my mate now, right, the searchers now are horrendous, The searchers, not like they used to be. They used to pat you down. Now you've got to fucking take everything off and kids after it as well. It's fucking disgusting, mate, what's going on, You know what I mean? It's disgusting. And this is to visit somebody behind the screen. I mean, what the fucking hell are they going? These people have got jobs making these screws. They're making money out of people's misery, aren't they? And if you've been around anybody who's had a spliff, they want to look up your arse and lot, mate. It's fucking disgusting visitors, what they're having to go through now to visit the families. It's fucking disgusting. I sympathise with them, honestly. It's fucking daunting. And this is why relationships are breaking up in prison. I could go on all day. I could go on about how 30 years ago, there were 36,000 in prison. Now there's nearly 100,000. So someone's not fucking working in it in UK.
No.
Hey? They need to have a
Definitely
good look
not.
at themselves, like fucking boxing needs to have a look at themselves. Who knows? Maybe I might need to start doing videos and other things because I've got a lot of life experiences. We're going to see, aren't we? But I came through it. I'm not saying I'm a success, but to where I were, I'm in a good position. My parents are proud of me. They didn't speak to me for 7 years, but now they're really proud of me that that I'm not in trouble. I don't have any court appearances due and touch wood. And kind of thing. So, but I've come out at the other end, so I suppose, I am a little bit of a success story. You know what I mean? But prison's not a good thing if you're going to go there. But if you do wrong, they want your pound of flesh. Listen, if you do something wrong in this country, if you don't pay a speeding ticket or a parking ticket, they come to your fucking door, mate. Court bailiffs come to your fucking door and start putting clamps on your cars and stuff like that. But if you're a fucking nonce and you don't get fucking treated like that, you start pleading your human rights and all this fucking shit and fucking look at all this in Rotherham with this fucking grooming and all that shit that went on. Fucking hellfire. Try to sweep it all away. But if you get a fucking parking ticket over here in Main Street, Rotherham, they're coming through your fucking front door for you, mate. Hey, we court order for fucking an extra on top. So I could go on forever. But yeah, this is a bit of a deep conversation and we're going all over the place with it. But like I said, there's no big about prison. But I sympathise with people in prison. I sympathise with you because the system's messed up. But I sympathise with families. Have you got any mates in jail?
No.
What's the jail over your way? It's called Maze, isn't it?
There's McGabry. There's a documentary on. I'll send you it. I'll send you a documentary on WhatsApp. Just it highlights a lot of issues, a lot of social issues. There's a lot of kids there that are ending up in jail because they haven't had an education.
Well, this is why we need to get kids into boxing. They need to join Chris Smedley's gym, don't they? King's Boxing Gym, Retford Road, Woodhouse, Sheffield, S13. Join there. That's where Max trains. That's where I go. Spencer Fearon, you're more than welcome up anytime. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 5 while 7. Come see me. Did you see Spencer Fearon overnight? I'm a gym daddy, or something he said. In gym, he bashes people up in gym. I saw you fucking sparring, Anthony Small, Spencer. You are not a roadman killer in the gym. You are not a gym daddy. But I've got nothing but love for Spencer Fearon, especially when he's going on about his people who tell him things, his sources who told him Oscar Rivers failed the dope test. Well, that got you a sack at Sky, Spencer. You know what else got him sack at Satanta? Satanta gave him a camera and a van driver to take him around, get footage. Where he got sacked, didn't he? Because all footage he came back with were him. Him doing interviews. That cost you at Satanta, didn't it, Spencer? So I find him amazing. He's doing 2-hour interviews about me on a Sunday, sat in his car outside his house. I live in Spencer Fearon's head. Well, I'll leave you to go for a jog. Are you going for a jog, Ken?
I'm going to go out later on. It's going to be 24 degrees today, so over here, so it's going to be really warm. So I'll get out and get up over the trails and run around the countryside for a while.
All right, then. Well, listen, God bless you. Thanks for being on channel today. You're an addition to the Porky Express, and we have had nearly an hour and a half, 1 hour, 20 minutes or something. So they've got a good one today, haven't they?
Don't have nightmares.
Don't you have nightmares. Peace out. Don't forget to hit the like button below and share the video, leave a comment. And if you want to see an extra 10 videos a month or all the back catalogue of the members' videos, join our members area. It's less than 60p a video per month.
Cheaper than the zone.
Cheaper than the zone. Peace out. Cheers, kid.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Well, that was Kent, all the way from the green pastures of Ireland. What a beautiful country, Islanders. I was looking the other day, actually. I thought, wouldn't it be nice to live in a lighthouse? I don't know, sometimes you lose yourself on internet. I've got this thing about lighthouses, and I keep looking at lighthouses. I think I can see me taking my kids on holiday for a week, stopping in a lighthouse. I just like them. I was looking at lighthouses that do holiday things in Ireland. It's a country that I'd like to visit. Looks beautiful, doesn't it? Some of the little harbours and little ports that you see around it. On the west of Ireland as well, I think that's quite nice. You know, the side facing America. And I was looking, I thought, yeah, lovely country. So Kent's from Ireland. But when I see Belfast though on TV, you never see good parts of it, but it is beautiful, isn't it? Because they built Titanic there, didn't they? But as a kid growing up, they never really used to show you nice parts of Belfast, didn't they? But it does look nice at the moment, doesn't it? But some of the other parts around Ireland, I think, are gorgeous. So I would like to go there one day. It's on my bucket list. All right, peace out.